Hi everyone, my name's Kelly and welcome to my channel. So basically I've been feeling pretty good about sharing all my I guess you would call it challenges through my life and all the healing that I actually went and received, and it kind of will give you more in depth to my services that I offer and the reason why I chose to go get certified in those. So, my very first one, I left off with getting into tarot cards, and through a miscarriage and a divorce, finding out who I really am, or at least starting to venture into um, possibilities just because I wanted to know answers. So, this one we'll pick up right where I left off, which, as you recall, in April is when I went to the psychic fair for the very first time. And I met a lady and I got a reading. Um, and then I was guided to go to Barnes and Nobles where I purchased my very first um, Garden Angel deck, where I got to communicate with my son, which was one of my guardian angels. So, with that being said, my next move here, what I did was Psychic Fair happens twice a year. It happens in April and I do believe in November. So, as I was playing with my tarot deck and starting to get into journaling a little bit, I felt very guided to go back to the fair in November. But this time, I felt very guided to go and just do all the free classes that were downstairs. So I don't even believe that I bought anything. I might have bought a crystal, maybe, but I don't think so. I think I literally spent the whole day um, downstairs trying to learn like all these different metaphysics um, teachings. So what happened was I went in to this lady's workshop. Her name is Mary, and she talked about divine 2 point to freedom heart connection. And that was what it was named, I do believe. So it just kind of caught my eye. So I went in and I sat down and I instantly had like trying to think of the word how to describe this. Like I needed to go see her. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what she does to her service, and I'm just like in awe. And it was an hour um, workshop, but it felt like I was in there for like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, and then she told me the booth that she was located. She told everyone the booth that she was located. So I was just like, okay, I'm like, I have to make a decision because I had all my classes planned out and I literally had like 5 minutes to go to the next class. So, but by the time I got done with that one, the psychic fair would basically be closing. So I decided to go with my gut of like, I need to go meet this lady. I don't know why, but I need to. So I went and I found her booth and I literally told her, I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I was downstairs at your workshop and I just felt very guided to come and find you. And she was like, okay. She's like, would you want to do um a session with me? And I said, sure. And I didn't even ask like the price or anything. And I've always been in the past, I've been very always needing to know prices before I made a choice. And yeah, that's not actually a good way to live. You just flow and trust that everything will be okay. I learned that too. But anyways, so back to my story. So what she did was she wanted to see if a past life would come up. Um, to see, she asked if I had any resentment or any hatred or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I do. And then she went on to do a reading. I'm not sure what cards she used. I can't remember, but she used two different tarot decks. And in that, a past life showed up in Russia, where I was married to a man and we had a bunch of kids. I think she said like 10. And then he just left all of a sudden. And that gave me chills, goosebumps, like throughout my whole arms. Like, oh, I'm like, whoa, that makes sense. I'm like, because for some reason, anytime there's someone that was Russian, I just disliked them and I didn't know why. I was like, yeah, I don't even know that person. Um, and that's why. So I had to struggle and support the kids um, that I was left with. So I had a lot of resentment from that past life. So she helped me to release that. Um, and I thought that was pretty interesting because now I look at them completely different. They're just people. So past lives are pretty amazing when they come up to be healed or whatever. So then we proceed on to my session with her, and she talks about doing the 2 point to freedom heart connection, divine heart connection, 2 points to freedom. So what this is, it's like a hands-on, but it doesn't have to be. It can be remotely as well. Um, but you basically close your eyes and you go in to wherever in your body that you feel dis-ease. So for me, I knew exactly where I wanted to go, which was my heart. I always had pains in the heart, so that's what I told her. So she told me to close my eyes and go to that pain that I had in the heart. And I've always had that there. So it was pretty easy for me to close my eyes and I was instantly right in that pain. So as my eyes are closed, she's doing this work where she literally puts her hands on my shoulders. But as she's doing this, it doesn't feel like human hands are touching me. It feels like angels, like a very high being angels that came through and was working. And at this time, like I knew very little about like angels and stuff like that. So I was a little bit like at awe and also of like, is this really happening? So as we go through this procedure, she doesn't move her hands off my shoulders. She just keeps them right there, and then we go through it, and it's basically you don't do anything, you just stay in that feeling um of the dis-ease. And then the practitioner, which at this time was Mary, she does the work. um, so then after it was done, she sat next to me and she told me to come back and open my eyes. And I did. And then she went through and said, now sometimes some people are ready to let go of the pain or dis-ease or the energy block. And if not, if you're not ready yet, I have some solutions or some things that you can keep doing until it releases. So at that point, she asked me to close my eyes and go back to the pain in my heart. So, me thinking, okay, this is going to be simple. So, I closed my eyes to go back to the pain in my heart. And I was like, and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's not there. It was gone. I was like, In my mind, lots of things were going through, but one of the biggest things was like I was thinking, I can't feel my heart. Like, oh my God, what is going on? Am I dying? Am I like what is happening? Like I can't feel my heart. And she's like, well, she's like, that's good. She's like, your heart was very heavy and it's never meant to be heavy. She's like, so you were ready to let go of that pain. So I let go and she took it. And that is how the miracle part happens with this practice of the divine heart connection, 2 points to freedom. It is truly miracles that happen and it's so fast. It was literally never heard of this method, never heard of this lady. I just was guided to go there and I did and my heart was so much lighter and it's never went back to being as heavy. And basically what's coming with my heart, what it was back then was the constant abuse that I endured as the child and even into young age. So verbally abuse was what I always got, which was name calling and stuff like that. And that was by my mom, but also by, I remember getting made fun of in school because I had a speech problem. So, and it just kind of builds up. And then I had throughout my life, I just build these walls to keep myself protected because I have always in my life never felt safe. So I just kept putting up these walls around my heart to the point where my heart feeling as what she called heavy, it was my normal. I don't recall when my heart did feel that way. So when it was gone, it just kind of shook me and I was in awe and shock and kind of like, what the hell's going on? Um, and so with that, with this service, you have to meet the person halfway. But even if you're not fully ready to give up any of that, then you just keep working at it, and then eventually it goes. It really depends on you. But also, I had a lot of anger in my heart. I had a lot of betrayal. Like I had a lot that was weighing in my heart. Um, and probably so much more, to be honest. But it just shows me how ready I was to let it go and become the person I'm meant to be me. So I was so moved by my experience with this divine heart connection that I literally got her info and she was doing a class and I think it was about 6 months later she was actually doing a certification class where she lives I think like 3.5 hours away and I was just so moved that this really works that I drove there and it was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I stayed at just a hotel in that area. Um, and did this certification, did the exercises and got to understand when going back when I said it felt like angels were touching me, not her. This is all to do with angels. You are connecting to the divine angels when the practitioner, when I am working with you, I'm connecting with the angels. Now, it's a little funny because in the past couple of videos, I've been saying that a group of collective angels called Leo is coming through to help at this time and I come on every Monday night at 10 p.m. and let them channel so they can give messages or answer questions or any of that. But Rude Awakening for me is I've actually been working with the angels this whole entire time. and only going back to wanting to start to share my actual story, then that's when I started realizing everything that I did was connected to the angels. So a little aha moment. Oh, excuse me. And yeah. So that anything that I get certified in, I have literally went and received the healing, and it has been amazing. And that's why I go and um put forth my time and my money into these um services, because I know for a fact they work, because I'm proof that they work. So let me just go into a little bit of the two divine heart connection, 2 points to freedom. It's literally 2 points. One is called the anchor, and that is where the problem is occurring. That is where you're feeling a dis-ease. You're feeling regret in the area of the body. But basically, it's scanning your body and seeing where your dis-ease is, where your energy block is going on right now. And then the point two of this is the solution, and that's where the miracles happen. That's where the angels come in and they remove as much as they possibly can that you allowed them to help you on your journey of healing. Or like if you were me, there had to be more to life than this. I was also not really always a happy person. I was more like a anger person, because I just had so much anger inside of me, of just my whole life in general, and always thinking I was a bad person because of all the bad things that has happened to me. So I always kind of had that as like, wow, I must be a really horrible person, because wow, this is a lot of stuff to overcome. Um, but anything is possible, and I am witness to that as well. As I keep sharing my parts of my life, the big shifts, and also the what we would call challenges, for my own healing and going deeper. So let's say you want to come and you want to do this. Let's say this video has really inspired you, or there's just you relate it to me in one point or another, and you're just ready to do this. Well, I leave all my web page and everything in the description, so that's where you can find all that. But let's say that you don't know. Like, I knew my heart was a big thing. I knew it going in. So let's say you have no clue. Let's say when you close your eyes, nothing in your body really resonates that feels heavy or feels energy block or, oh, excuse me, distress. So let's say, okay, Kel, I want to do this, but I really don't know where to start. So when you get certified through Mary, and this is Mary right here, there she is. So when you get certified through her, you can choose to buy the deck of cards that comes with this. So let me just show you these. I think I got them all. So let's say that you want to do this, but you don't know where to start. These come in handy really well, because what I would do, of course, using my intuition, I could scan your body and see where it goes. Or if it was your choice, which it always is, let's say that you rather go, okay, let's see what the cards say, right? So I would just take a moment, shuffle. Well, wow, that card already came. Okay, that was quick. Gotta love tarot cards or oracle cards. And you can only buy these once you are certified through her. By the way. Okay. So here's the card. And it's cool because it shows an angel. It gives you the angel name down here. All right. So then what is happening? What does that card mean? So that card means releasing energy blockages that is causing dis-ease, right? Or disease, if you want. So you are having something going wrong with your body, and there's a blockage in the body that is causing that to basically get your body not in alignment. When you have energy that is not flowing through all the chakras, and instead it's literally being stuck, and it's just stuck in the gut and it's not moving, it hasn't moved in years, well, then you would have to release that so that the energy can flow in a circle through the body, because that's a healthy body. It's when all the energy and all your points and chakras are open, and then you're letting it flow. So so that's where we would start, and that's what I would do. I would just call in the angels and I would allow them to go through and see what kind of blockage that you have going on and what are you willing to just let go of and give up to the angels. And then also, excuse me, once you release something out of the body, you have to replace it. That's just how this works, this universe. So, of course, you would have higher light, angel light, that would come in and help you. So, like I said, with my experience with this, um, how heavy my heart was, and then it was gone. It was completely different feeling. That was releasing the blockage that I had in my heart so that the energy could start to flow through the body. Oh, excuse me. All right. So hopefully this inspired you, or did whatever it was supposed to do. But again, I just felt very guided to come in and share my story, um, and go from there. So I will say with Mary, she was a very loving person. She is a very loving person. Very heart filled. Doesn't feel like she does a lot of judging. So within a year, I was on this fast track of metaphysics. It was a very fast train. I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. I felt so much better. The knowledge I was gaining, I was using for myself. I could communicate better with like Lawrence, my son, or anybody that I wanted to. And it was just mind blowing. So it does work. I guarantee it. Okay. Oh, let's see. So I'm debating here. Um, Also, with the divine heart connections, this could also be a belief, limiting belief that you have in your body. So when I'm saying stuck energy, you kind of want to know where it's coming from. And belief patterns are probably the number one issue that you have energy blocks with. So for example, I would say, oh, excuse me, I built up walls to keep myself safe, right? I was hurt too many times as a kid and a young teenager. I was hurt too many times. So I got it in my head. I got a belief that if I don't let anyone in, I can't get hurt. If I do not show people my feelings, what's really happening, I cannot get hurt. I am safe. So that was my belief pattern that I put in to my body, in my mind and body to react in situations for what I thought was just me protecting me. Not did I ever realize that it was fear around what has happened and a repeating of that fear coming back too. So, perfect example. Um, I was molested by two different guys, men. One is part of the family, and the other one is not. He was a stepfather. So, when you have that happen, not once, but twice, my belief was that I was not safe with men in general. So I always kept myself very close and very distant from guys because of that. So, with that being said, could you imagine how heavy my heart was and a lot of other parts of my body because of just that belief, that fear that was not only in the heart, that was a fear that would be located in the gut because that's where fears are, that's where they're kept in our sacrum chakra, sacred chakra. And also, you can have it in the solar plex chakra as well. Um, and of course, the throat, not speaking your mind. So, that chakra, you could also have it because you're not speaking your mind. Um, and don't want to get too much into details on that because that's the next part. Um, but just imagine, close your eyes and just think, what beliefs do you have that you believe is protecting you? And then ask yourself, is it really protecting you? Yeah. Hmm. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close this part two out. Um, and I guess I would leave it with just know, don't play the victim part. When you play the victim part, it keeps you very stuck where you feel like you can't move to the next whatever um, because of what happened to you. And I would definitely say I knew that in my early 20s that I would definitely be playing that victim role. But I see things much differently now. And through work on many different levels, I have been able to release a lot of anger and belief patterns, um, a lot of them. And I've been able to just let myself grow into being more of me. And you know, when you're being you, when you're just having a good time, when nothing can get you down, that's when you know. So I encourage you to go check out my website and see how worthy you are to yourself. As I always said, um, it's okay to ask for help. There are many people out there wanting to help. But if you don't ask for it, the answer will always be no. You will never get that. Or if you do, it's much later. So, again, my name is Kelly Muzard. Thank you for tuning to my channel of my part, my story, part two. And I will be posting part three tomorrow as I continue on telling you about my amazing journey of healing and remembering who I am. And you all have a good night or good morning.